Hey, what's going on, family? Man, it's so great and honored, man. I'm blessed. It's always a blessing to see you guys. It's always a blessing to share something with you that the good Lord shared with me and to keep you motivated. As you know, it's Motivational Monday, man. So it's something to keep going, something to keep you positive, keep you moving through this life journey. It's an experience. It's lovely. It can be depressing, it can be sad, or you can make it the best of what's inside of you, which is greatness. So it's your decision, it's your choice. But let me leave you with this. It's so important. I was reading this morning. It was beautiful to me, man. I tell you, it hit me in the head pretty good. I know you should remember the story. It's a really old one, and I know you've read Genesis already. Like I tell you, I've been on this Genesis thing when God took me back to the beginning to really get evaluate and reevaluate one blood to make sure it's going in the right direction of what He wants it to go and not where I want it to go. So I wanted to. I was reading this morning, and I wanted to stop by for a hot second and let you know that when I was reading, I think it was the 5th chapter, and I've been studying. I know that seems slow from the last video or the previous videos I posted a few weeks ago, but when you're studying it takes time to get through. You don't, reading is different than studying. So if you have time, which is I like to do mine early in the morning, the 3:30 to 4 o'clock era in the morning is when I like to do mine. So if you have that time and you have that capabilities, then try it. It makes your day a whole lot smoother, makes your day a whole lot better. You understand your day a little bit easier, and you're able to make it through your day because you're starting it with God first. But let me stay on track. Let me stay. Y'all know I can ramble and get into some good stuff when I'm talking about greatness that's inside of you. But what I realized reading with the 5th chapter about Cain and Abel, when Cain took out Abel, what caught my interest is when Cain and God was actually having a conversation. Now, if y'all have read the story, Cain really messed up, man. He took his brother out. That's pretty deep. I mean, he, took his brother out off of a sacrifice that was to God, had nothing to do with their relationship together. It just, or being brotherhood and nothing like that. It was really based off of, from what we read, and I'm pretty sure there's much more intel that went along with it in those days. But just by reading, it was a jealousy call. But after the aftermath, when God and Cain was sitting there actually having a conversation, the Holy Spirit said, still, after all that Cain had done, the disaster of starting the blood hitting the earth like that, God still had a conversation and gave him grace. Gave him a lot of grace. If anybody touched him, it was he would bring it worse 7 times harder on them if they mess with Cain. So he marked them for that. What interests me was the relationship. Even still, God had a relationship. So what is that telling me? After all I've done, when you try to get into your depressed mode, when the enemy tries to make you feel sad, make you feel bad, or even with your relationship with your spouse or your brothers or your sisters, your significant others, whatever kind of relationship you may have, your boss on your job, whatever it may be, have grace, because it's efficient. Have grace and watch what will happen. Build your relationships based off what's in your heart. And if you're a believer, the first thing that's in your heart is love. That's it. That's the first thing that should be coming out your heart is love. I truly believe if we focus more on building our relationships off love, no matter what relationship it is, like I say, if it's a job relationship, a companionship of work related, school related, your significant other, marriage, it just doesn't matter. Whatever relationship that you encounter, brother and sister, father and mother, whatever relationship you may have, base it off love. Base it off love, because you gotta really think about that thing. It's already embedded in you, because God made you in His own image, so it's already there. It's already sitting inside you. The greatness is already, great is he that liveth in me than he that lives in the world. So it's already there. All you have to do now is activate it continuously through your whole life, through your relationships, especially. I've told my testimony. I had a really hard year of marriage one time, and well, more than once, but the one was like this recent one a couple years ago. That was a horrible one. But God is showing me, build a relationship. The friendship, the talking, the communication, the laughter, the understanding. Build that thing and build on top of that, because that's where the love is. If you hit it with love first, it's kind of hard to go wrong because it was initiated with a good cause. And then you have that to fall back on. So when everything, when the enemy is really trying to play with your head, force depression, and things that you could, the sin that you could have committed, and you're thinking that have not been forgiven for it, that's not true. There's no condemnation. So that's not true at all. So what you have to do to try your best to try to understand yourself, understand the God that's in you, and understand the greatness and the beauty that's inside of you. Understand all of that and watch yourself grow with every relationship that you encounter. Watch it grow. I promise you. I promise you it'll grow. It'll start increasing because you're basing it off of what God based his relationship with us off of, which is pure love. Remember, stay tight, stay smooth, be who you're going to be, and love it. One Blood loves you. Talk to you soon. Y'all be careful, okay?